All right, everybody, welcome back to the Canadian Open here live in Mississauga, Ontario. Sorry for a little delay. Seems like that crazy weather storm that has came in is kind of wreaking a little havoc with our system and stuff like that. But we're back on. We've got David Putty and Fern Loyer playing. We're just getting underway. Fern played a nice opener to get 11 on the board. I'm expecting to see a little bit of fireworks in this one. Both guys are seasoned veterans of the game. And once again, we do apologize for the delay of catching in this game kind of early in the frame. We didn't get to see the break off, but no too craziness has happened yet in this frame. Just the craziness behind the scenes that we're definitely trying to rectify. And hopefully we've found out the mysteries to it. Interesting, an old friend by the name of Jamie Thompson stopped in the room, and it was good to see him. I hadn't seen Jamie in many years. He's an accomplished flutist, and he was kind of getting the snooker bug a little bit actually by watching this. He knew kind of the game, knew somewhat about it, but now seeing it live, he's feeling like he's getting really hooked. And I said, well, maybe we should develop your special cue that is part cue, part flute, so you could play it and woo your opponent. But, something to see maybe in the future, but good seeing you as always, Jamie. Hopefully we can see you back in the room, and hopefully you can pay us a visit out west someday. That's experience there from Fern. Just pretty much put that cue ball tight to that ball cushion. Decent shot to nothing there by David. So for all of you that tune in to our many broadcasts that we have, there is Mr. David Putty. It's interesting, he puts his glasses on his forehead and he doesn't use them for a shot. I think we should kind of ask him about that, because all great players always have superstitions and little tricks to keep them focused. If you watch David, he has great follow through, and that really helps you get a lot of action on the cue ball, shall we say. I wouldn't say, power, but you drive that cue through the ball, and you're going to get a little more action there rather than a jabbing motion. And this could be a bit of trouble here for Mr. Putty. Actually, that is Fern's own rest. He brings his own rest to his tournaments, as much as some people might recognize that from the Whistler Cup last year. I think it's open to his opponent using it, but sometimes you hear the gadgets to extend the cue and all that stuff, but Fern is taking it one step further. Soon he might have a whole arsenal of tools like his own spider and swan. Ooh. So maybe some first frame jitters there for Fern. But you definitely notice with Vern, he missed that shot, but he didn't really leave anything on for David, so David has to play safe. Remember, we're up on YouTube, as you probably have found us if you're tuning in, but tell your friends, your wives, your girlfriends, your lovers, and your mothers that we're up on YouTube. If you just search out Snooker Canada, you will find our live stream there. And as well, we are live down here at Monte Carlo Billiards in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. It's the Canadian Open. It's day 1, 3 days scheduled. Yeah, we've had some exciting matches. The last match between Kadir Mustafa Foski. Sorry, it's a little tough pronunciation for me. He was battling Patrick Gigi, and then they went to an exciting decider just before that. So still plenty of snooker action happening. And as I get updated on other matches that are in the room, as we have 6 tables working, I will definitely update you as we go along. As we get a little later in the day, the room gets a little bit more lively, so you might hear just a few background comments here and there. Could take on this brown, and that would bring him down to the business end of the table. Yeah, Fern's a really accomplished player. And unfortunately, a couple of years ago, he really had a devilish accident at work. Really, it wasn't looking good for Fern. But he's back, and he's back with authority. So replaying a couple of years ago, and once you have the form, it takes a little bit of time, but eventually it will come back. Yeah, Fern is just so dangerous when he gets into these balls. You notice this really good players are always hovering around the black, because that is the most important ball on the table. 7 points, you can really build up a lead by using a lot of blacks. Yeah, these gives us some options. As much as there's tough cuts with those 3 reds there, but there's a nice easy red he's got in the middle pocket. Yeah. The way you ruin frames is to stay at the table, and Fern's doing exactly that. The 27 break and building. I almost forgot where he put that pink in. for the action to move on the other table. I think that's Jason Williams who's just taking a shot. As we are in Monte Carlo Billiards over here, it is close tables, so sometimes a little bit of the etiquette, you gotta wait for the other table to take the shot. Very gentlemanly like by Fern, who's getting closer and closer to stealing his first frame. And Fern just knows exactly where to put that cue ball. 'd like to kiss that out a little bit. 59 on in it and 51 on the table. Make that 50. So I don't think Mr. Putty is going to be coming back to the table anytime soon. He might come just to, get his arm warmed up, loosened up, and stuff like that. Ooh. So that break shows us at 49. So 60 is the difference with 43 on. So a few many snookers needed by Mr. Putty if he wants to take this first frame. But I think he might just get a few shots in just to warm up his arm. Just calm his nerves. He's aware of making the shots. Apologize for our dishwasher, I think, going off in the background here. So shift changes are happening, and well, people can get thirsty, these players, so we do our best to keep them hydrated, as well as myself. This water is well received. And with that miss, David will concede that frame. So Fern takes the first frame, 68 to 7 or to 9. My apologies. And so we're just getting started here in this best of 7. Fern takes the first one, and frame 2 will be coming right up.
Or if 5 bad things happen in a row. 5 or 6, 1, 2. You start getting I really want to put that
That's all good, monsieur. All right, back with the action. Frame 2. Mr. Fern Loyer to break off. Bruce is wondering how many games are in a match. Well, we are... Ooh, that's not a good break off by Fern. We are playing a best of 7, so whoever gets 4 frames on the board first will be moving on. Thank you for your question, Bruce. I'm wondering maybe where you're viewing in from. Snooker is a global game. We'd love to hear where people are tuning in from. I wonder if there was a safety on there for David in that last shot. So he did took on a red, and this could be a bit costly here. Do our best not to jinx any of the players, but Fern is quite capable of scoring heavily. As you might know from last Richler Cup, Fern had the first century that I ever commentated on, so take note, everybody. That might be a trivia question somewhere out there in one of these Snooker Canada tournaments. Obviously, there have been centuries in the tournaments before, but I had the pleasure of commenting on that one that Fern had last year at Shooterville. Hopefully some of our friends are tuning in down at Shooterville. It's great hospitality that they gave us last year. But this year we're going to be going out west. Not all the way out to my hometown of Vancouver, where I live now, but Red Deer, Alberta. What we got in the... Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there was a little kick there or something like that. Fern wasn't just too happy with that. But yeah, out at the corner pocket, that's where the Richler Cup will be this year in Red Deer. Looking forward to going out there. Never been there, but we were in Calgary obviously last year for the Western Canadians, and this year we were near my hometown of Vancouver, just in Richmond for the Western Canadians. That was kind of nice. Another first, I could sleep in my own bed and drive to work. So as we're young and growing, you'll be witnessing a lot of firsts. And I know Mr. Putty would like to put his first frame on the board pretty soon. So hopefully he can put a good effort here. I knew as he hit it. There's no worse feeling when you take a shot and you just know right off the instant, that it's not going in. No amount of willing it or mentally thinking of it getting in, and it's just a straight miss. So Fern steamrolling again. He is a real treat to watch. Sometimes you don't have to really say anything. You can just sit back and admire the beauty of his shot making. Fern does know that David is an accomplished referee, so has no problem asking him to spot the pink. In one instance, obviously, when all the spots are covered, usually if there's a spot open, you go to the highest point value, but when all the spots are covered, you go closest to its original spot in a line with the top cushion. And there's only sometimes the very, very freak occasions that you would go on top of the spot going towards bulk is when there's a lot of reds covering up behind the black spot. And maybe could be as well for the pink, but that's stretching it just a little bit, I think. Well, thought about it a little bit. Oh, Fern's just... when he's in his zone, and any player in general, that is, when they're in the zone, they're nailing balls into the back of the pocket, just like that. I don't need it. Our good friend Craig Carey is just in the room, just tapping me on the shoulder to say hello. It's good to see that he made it over the Rocky Mountains as well, because he was playing in last week's Western Canadian, a native of Edmonton. So good to see him making it all the way out here to Mississauga, and then he'll bounce back as well and be up at Richler Cup in Red Deer next weekend. Fortunate enough that red got onto the top cushion, so it makes a pot just a little difficult. And playing safe is a little tough too. Those two reds to the right of the pack are null and void, either to go in. So this is a bit tricky queuing over balls. And he just selects to play safe, so. It's a tough outing here for David. The left side of the table is really not accessible for him. And just gliding off those red to the right, you got to worry about the in-off. As David probably would say, what in-off? Can't let that thought come into your head. This should be and there's our, just to the right of the frame, you'll see Eddie Galati just down on the shot. He's our player representative with Snooker Canada and also playing. So always good to see Eddie. So we'll see if David can make something of this. That red was sitting over the side pocket. I think he's got the good angle on the blue here. It definitely wasn't an angle to go smashing into all those reds down there, but a few of these reds out in the open, he can just chip away. That was a pot he wanted back. You can tell by his reaction, it almost looked like he almost was going to be Bo Jackson and break that cue off his knee, but that wouldn't be a good idea. As much as your cue can let you down sometimes, it's not really the cue, it's mostly the holder. And this game is about creating a good dance with each other. You and your cue stick dancing to the waltz, potting balls. That's kind of what he wanted to do. And we welcome any of you in the neighborhood if you wanted to come down. We're just off Dundas Road at Monte Carlo Billiards in Mississauga, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. You're actually where I was born and raised in Oakville, Ontario. So if any people in Oakville are tuning in, hello, and maybe I know you, you can stop by. It's been a few years since I've been back in Oakville. Right now, a little safety battle ensues. see with these guys, veterans of the game, they don't really take on long pots. Only if they're really forced to, they would take it on, or they see a good way to run back and ball, kind of like a shot to nothing kind of thing. So, Fern, who was up in the Sudbury area, there's a lot of players actually in Big Nickel Country that take part in our tournaments. There's Barry all the way Laurent, who's just behind us. He's using the rest, as you can see in your deep background. And Louis Vazekas, my apologies. He's from Sudbury as well. I took care of bad boy Bill Cormilo a little earlier today with a 4-0 whitewash. So, sorry to all you Bill supporters. You were great fun at the Westerns, and hopefully you'll come out and support him in person when he's playing in the Richler Cup in Red Deer, as he's a native from Calgary. And David Putty comes from the Simcoe area, which is just west of here, southwest. And definitely enjoys his snooker. Been around for about 50 years, and as much as he was saying that coaching program was a lot of hard work, but it was fun work, and it didn't seem like work to him. Because, if you're working on something you love, it doesn't really seem like work. But I know he's not loving this scoreline right now. I'm not sure who he's talking to. Maybe a coach over there. Get him his 2 cents. Wonder if we'll see any of our Ontario players maybe playing a bit quicker today, as those Toronto Maple Leafs are in the playoffs and fighting for their lives. But they play tomorrow, so maybe the Raptors, I think, play tonight. Blue Jays are in full swing, so Southern Ontario's got a lot of sports going on. And we've got some great snooker action here at Monte Carlo Billiards, and we're glad you're tuned in. If you did want to come down, just let you know that is a $5 admission fee, but that admission fee goes straight to our Air Cadets program, so helping them out. I think David was telling me he had a gentleman that had some work with the Air Cadets, and says we probably can get this game into the camps and get some of these young cadets playing and maybe creating a little interest. So David has just walked away to find, obviously, some... I don't think he's looking for the long rest. He's looking for a spider, it looks like.
Phil, sorry to bug you. We're having a shift change right now. Can I get you to pay cash out? No, I was trying to get it weird.
Yeah, he's got a spider. Just didn't want to have the push shot there. Well, you might have been hearing Phil Snake's voice in the background. Runner-up 2 years ago to the Richler Cup. Looks like someone was coming after him to pay his bill, so we won't be hearing him talk for a little bit. Well, this is a good chance for David. Once again, as we do have a roving referee, Kevin Patrick, most of these guys are officiating themselves. If you want to see referees on the table, this is a great time to enlist. We're going to have a referee certification program out in BC in December, and I'm pretty sure a lot more will start popping up. So as much as we need great players, we need great refs, we need great scorekeepers, we need great commentators, we need great people behind the scenes, organizing, bringing these beautiful pictures to you. There's a lot to make the ship work, and as much as it looks effortless on the screen, there's a lot of great people working behind the scenes. Rob Decatur is our fantastic technical producer, director, wizard of all these contraptions, and he's really put a fantastic job today. And all weekend long, he'll do a smashing job. We forced that a little bit. Oh, and Song Chen, who's playing on the far table deep in your background, is retrieving the spider that David Putty took. So 42-23, still anybody's frame. This is always kind of an interesting one, as we saw in the last match with our president, Patrick Gigi. He was down 2-0, but he did roar back to make it 3-2, and then Kadir made it 3-3 and won it in a decider. So, and it's nice to get that first frame on the board. If David can get this one a win here, really can boost up his confidence, because you don't really feel you're in the game until you have that first frame on the board. But Fern is a tough opponent, so he's going to do his best to try and keep him seated and not scoring. Nice pot with the rest. Could do to get off that cushion. Makes it a little difficult when it's on the cushion, but no problem there for Mr. Putty to put that pink in. So he's climbing back into this frame. Well, I think he's got a little shot to nothing here. That there's two reds in the middle of the table, the one that's closer to us, the bottom of the screen. You could clip that, maybe put that in the right corner pocket. It could run back to bulk. Always enjoy those shots, as the best of both worlds there. Sometimes, even if he did pot it and he was back up in bulk, there could be a roll up to that brown. Now with that other red, he might have a shot to nothing. Does it go by that yellow? I think he's having a good look at it. No, it doesn't look like it, but this is a thin cut to get into the side pocket. Oh, it's a nice little kiss from that red to put it on nicely for this black. But there are some reds in difficult positions here, so it's not over for Putty just yet. Ooh. sure if it's a commentator's curse when there's a commentator involved, but hopefully David can benefit from that miss on the black that Fern had. Not too painful. Yeah, we're kind of just off the room, but there sometimes does be a little bit of a gathering point, and if you are coming down, just remember to keep your conversations to a minimal, or just take it in another part of the room, as we're trying to give these players the best conditions to play. And keeping quad is quite nice, and some of these people that are behind me don't realize that these microphones do pick up a lot of noise in their conversations, so hopefully they're not saying anything incriminating, because we do have some signs around us at the commentating booth just asking them to be quiet, but it seems like it encourages them a bit more to not be quiet. Now it's this part of the game, the back and forth, the little jabs here and there, the safety battle. I was hoping that would have cannoned into the black there, but unfortunately not. This is a thin cut for David, but definitely potable. Just went for the double, went to be safe. He's got to worry about that one red getting closer to the corner pocket. Yeah, Fern's coming over to take a look at it.
You're in good hands, guys. You're in good hands. Oh, yeah?
That's a nice shot there by David. Oh, I think he was more playing the hook there than actually the pot. But I think he's got some space here that he can... I don't think he's going to roll up. Oh, he did. Good play there. Smart play. It was a long black into this right corner pocket, but the way the balls are situated right here. Oh, very nice hit there by Fern. I totally agree with you, Bruce. These guys can really play great safe. As we said, it's not always about just potting balls. You've got to have a good grasp of safety play. Many facets of this game that you need to be proficient in. And these guys do an excellent job, and that's why they're on the table and playing in this Canadian Open. David just being a little cautious as he brings out the redwoods. Obviously, that's not the technical term for it. It's more called a long rest. But the length of them, you think they were shaped from a redwood. Check out the weight. It's a very lovely shot there. It makes it tough when you're using the really long rests, and you'll know that your usual stroke will yield some results. when you add that extension on there, it just adds a bit more weight, so a bit more power when you're going through the shot, unintended. So a really good shot there for David to get back into bulk. He's glued it to that bulk cushion, and as well, he's behind that cluster of brown and green, quite possibly. Goes to show you really need to lay a nasty snooker if you're going to want to get burned. So I don't know if he might be able to just see a little hair of that. And as well, Fern could take 2 cushions, come back to bulk, maybe even 3, and get behind that black. Oh, look at that little pot there. And just see if he has the angle on the black. Get down for this red by the blue. But a good shot to nothing there by Fern. You know, if he had not made the red, the bulk is nicely up near the bulk end. So now with the black spot covered, that will go on the pink spot. This little shake of the head is that yellow glued to the blue, glued to the yellow there, because he will need that, I believe. This black will put him up by 27 points, but there's 27 points on the table. So is there an angle on this pink? This is a tough one. I almost feel like if I was putty, I'd call over Kevin Patrick just to see. From my vantage point, it looks like he's going to hit them at the same time, both of them. But Fern experiencing pain off there. So with that 8 points by Fern, it's now 27 points in it. So yes, okay, no problem. Rob, our dynamite director, just informed me a little issue with the scorekeeping. It should read 58-31. So he's busy rectifying the problem. I know a few of those players are concerned.
You get the correction? So he has 8 more points.
So, David played that quite nicely. That's the best escape when you're snookered, is to lay a snooker back on your opponent. Well, it's a tough table for David to run out and force a black respot. You gotta come down for the blue and then go back up for the pink, and the green and brown are nestled tightly together. So just updates in the Snooker Canada world while we have a little break here. We're going to be launching a full-blown national tour next year with ranking points, which will include prizes like free accommodations because we travel many places in our large country of Canada, and so sometimes the accommodation can get a little costly with these tournaments and stuff. So helping out our players with accommodation is one thing they were providing. Possibly a slew of snooker accessories all the way from good old England, where the game is very huge. And I'm pretty sure if you're tuning in and a veteran of the game of snooker, you know that England does a fantastic job of producing top-notch snooker players and events out there. But ours is good as well. We're building a solid fan base out here in Canada, and we're hoping to be up there pretty soon. As well, some of these tournaments you might fancy yourself driving in a Cadillac. Wouldn't that set a precedent to your opponent and some of your fans if you came in driving a Cadillac? Now, you don't get to keep the Cadillac, but you get the experience of driving one, and what's wrong with that? I take that opportunity for sure. You also could get some free table time at your various clubs that you play at, and a lot more other goodies that can come about. So just keep checking back. As you can see, our web address is on the top right corner at www.snookercanada.ca. Updates are happening there daily on all the various things that we are doing snooker related. So, my apologies with the snooker now, or the score now updated. David does need a snooker, as the difference is 26 and there's 25 on the table. Laid the snooker that he needs. Ooh. Very nicely done there by Fern. Most guys, myself included, sometimes when you're hooked, it's just to hit your object ball. But Fern played that in a fashion that he almost laid another snooker on David. Kind of want to hit that blue full in the face just to stop the motion of the white ball. So there's a possibility of a hook for Fern if you can just hit that green and just stun it right there. This will be behind that brown nicely. A little bit of housekeeping. You can do that as a player if you see any debris or anything like that on the table. You can clean it up because you don't want your cue ball or object ball to hit it and kick in a disasterly direction. So we are here down at Monte Carlo Billiards in Mississauga, Ontario. You're more than welcome to join us. We do charge a $5 admission fee for coming down and checking out the action, but all those admission fees go directly to the Air Cadets. So you're helping out a good program there, and you're watching some great snooker. We've got a nice kitchen of various treats that you can eat. Just don't munch too loud, as you don't want to wreck the concentration of these players. Ooh. It's close to almost a little in off there. But I think there's a gap between the black and the blue for Fern to hit the green. So David Putty does need one snooker to have a chance to win this frame, as there's 26 in it and 25 on the table. Ooh. It's just a straight miss, and a free ball might be awarded here. I think so. Wow. When you need snookers, you don't want to miss the ball, that's for sure, because that's going to increase your amount of now 2 snookers. Okay, well, he could hit it, but well, David is just as good as getting out of the snookers as he is laying them, as well with Fern. These both guys have a capability of everything that you need in this game. Good break building, tactical safety play, ability to lay a devilish snooker as well. But David needs 2 of those snookers. You are correct, Bruce. It is 4 points for a scratch. But sometimes you can cannon into the pink, blue, or black, and those respectively would be blue would be 5, pink would be 6, and black would be 7. But you can go no smaller than 4 points, which if any of you are tuning into the Western Canadian Championships, I am busy drafting my letter with my ability on the table is sometimes I scratch on that yellow, and I'm hoping it's a 2-point foul one of these days. But I think my request will probably go on deaf ears. So, well, the game's excellent just the way we have it. Just a little too much zip on that one. I think David noticed with a little bit of chuckle. It was going to be a treacherous snooker, but just a little much siding on it. And David will concede that frame. So Fern takes a more controlling lead in this match, 2 frames to nothing. Frame 3 will be coming up very shortly. Just to remind you, we're here live in Mississauga, Ontario at Monte Carlo Billiards, not Monte Cristo. That might be my sandwich choice for dinner tonight. We're at Monte Carlo Billiards, and frame 2 will be coming up momentarily. And just so you're aware, after frame 3, we will also be taking a little 5 to 10 minute break. But frame 3 is getting close, so buckle in and let's see what can happen here, because it's an important frame for Mr. Putty. Needs to get one on before the intermission. But Fern just wants to keep the gas pedal going down and take a 3-0 lead into the break. That's a nice break off there. Didn't really leave a long pot on for Fern, but didn't hook him on anything. So spreads are getting spread out, so you gotta watch out here. If someone makes a mistake on their safety play, it could be treacherous. And Putty being down, he might maybe force the issue there. Though I don't think he's really left much on. Top part with this open red on the right side, if Fern takes it on, the natural angle of his cue ball is going to run up it to bulk, and there is that red near the yellow pocket. But was fortunate enough with that misread from before. He didn't leave anything on for Fern. Yeah, it's a tricky shot here for David. His reds are getting really spread out, so a good hiding spot is tough to find. We're all hoping that you're enjoying the snooker action. Do tune in next weekend, as we'll be in Red Deer, Alberta for the Richler Cup, our crown jewel of the season. And I believe that event will be streamed on Q Sports Live on Facebook. If you go onto Facebook and find out Q Sports Live, that's where the live stream will be. And I hear they have a dynamite team out there, and looking forward to working with them, but no complaints here. This is a dynamite team here too. Robin Gord put on a good show behind the scenes. I just have a feeling if someone is going to miss a shot here, it's going to let the other player really get in and put up a substantial break. Oh. Very nice by Mr. Putty. Like I As I can see, Phil Snake is back at the table. He's playing John Woods, I believe. I'll try and keep you updated as I can see the scoreline from my vantage point. The other tables are a bit tougher to see. This might be an opportunity here. He's got to go about it the long way, though. That's a long red into the side, and there's a black down here on the left corner pocket. Ooh, was very fortunate to get that kiss. A little raise of the hand. That wasn't intended, and Fern has a little smirk to himself that, fortunate enough, he is on the black. But kind of stretched a little bit. Fern may be one of our shorter players, but not by much. And maybe a little short, but his play is top notch, that's for sure. This guy can definitely, once he gets in the balls, might as well just order a pizza because you're going to be sitting for a while. Ooh. Thought that he could do a bit more with that, so 2 reds, a black. He's got 9. Thought it could be a bit more. It's kind of left some things on now for Mr. Putty. Very nice by David there. Split the uprights. Didn't cannon into those at all and let himself on perfect shape on the black. So as David stands at the table here, continue going along. We have a special guest coming into the booth. Yes, he is a player, but he also is El Presidente, the captain of it all, Mr. Patrick Gigi. Welcome.
Thank you, David. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm okay. I've recovered from my loss.
It was definitely devastating going to a decider, and you're in that moment.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And are you liking how the tournament is going?
Absolutely. Got people from all over the country and some Americans here. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see the camaraderie around.
It's also good to see Fern's great ability. And David, not to knock him either.
Yeah, no, I mean, Fern makes the game look pretty easy. So these are all 4 out of 7 matches, as it says on the screen there. Always looks so easy from the booth, doesn't it?
Oh. In my mind, I'm making maxims all the time when I'm sitting here. But it's easy to think of a shot, call the shot, know what you got to do with the cue ball, but then putting your hand on that table, something just happens.
Well, that's what happens when you get used to watching someone like Ronnie O'Sullivan on on the YouTube, it almost makes the game look like. I mean, once you see what some of these top players do in England, yeah, gets a little tricky sometimes.
So, what's coming down the pipe? I know our season is pretty much coming to a close. It's this, and then the Richler Cup next weekend, and that kind of finishes up the season.
Yep.
But now that I have you here, we do have live comments and questions. So we do have Patrick Geegy here, the head of Snooker Canada. If anyone has a question, feel free to shout out. But I'm asking a question. Anything coming down the pipe? Anything we can get excited about?
Yeah, you know what? A lot of different things are on the pipe, but you know, we're going to be visiting the Maritimes. The Maritimes hasn't really been involved much in the Canadian snooker tour, but from what I hear, they love their snooker down there. They love their pool, so I'd love to get them involved.
I'd love to go to the Maritimes, so there's a lot of love out there.
So yeah, and you know, talking to some people in Saskatchewan, and just you know, a few things brewing in the province of Quebec as well.
Yeah, with a big country so big, you see a lot of the familiar faces in the Ontario scene and Quebec scene, and we are in Ontario right now.
Yep.
It'd be interesting when we go out to Richler Cup in Alberta next week. We'll see, you know, a lot of our Albertan friends and BC friends. So
Yep.
maybe soon enough, maybe in the works, we could have an East versus West battle royale. In
Sure,
Yellowknife.
that would be. I mean, it's a big country, and that would be a lot of fun, actually. Absolutely. Now, I'm pretty excited about the fact that we have some new coaches on the horizon with the certification course this week.
Yes, David Putty did a fantastic job. It was a big undertaking, but he got it done, and now he just needs to focus on his game here. But he's in tough with Fern.
Yeah, I'm watching David's body language right now and his facial expressions. He almost looks like he's fighting off the demons. Big part of the game, part of the game that I think is underrated, is picking yourself up. I'm pretty efficient at that because I have a lot of practice missing easy shots.
Yeah, it's definitely another thing of like, sure, there's the shot. I know the shot, make the shot, talking about it. But when you miss the shot, talking about get that out of that system. It's
Yep.
a lot different saying it than actually doing it.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a great shot. If that,
That might have gone in your match. There seemed to be a lot of balls that just were on the lip and then bloosh.
not me shooting them.
Your match.
Oh yes,
Well, they did go for you, but unfortunately they were the cue ball.
yeah, that's right. It was a pretty strange match. The nice thing about streaming on YouTube is you can always go back and watch some of the matches.
True, but I think there's, I know we had Q Sports Live out in Vancouver area, in Richmond. Do they stockpile those videos on their Facebook page?
We'll have to ask them when we get there.
Yeah, I hope some of our friends out there on the West Coast are tuning in. So Gary Spence and Tony Funn and
Yeah.
Rob Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got lots of snooker coming up for the next 3 days. Some good players.
6 at this point, right?
Yeah, 6.
So is this score accurate? Rough?
No, you got 6 to count.
I have 6 to count on the bits.
Seem to have a scoring mini controversy. Looks like it's been worked out.
Yeah, it seems like this ice storm did really a number in Ontario for a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people's cars, our computers, people's front lawns, our scorekeeping devices.
Is that because of the ice?
It could be.
Really? Oh.
Well, something's got to be blamed. It's not you.
Couldn't be me. That was a pretty good stroke by David, but I don't think he's going to be very happy about that cue ball. Don't know if these two have ever played each other before.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this might be their first head-to-head. Maybe they've had some friendlies with each other. Looks like Barry all the way Laurent has finished his match. You see them actually hugging in the background.
Oh,
It must.
good to see the players bonding.
Mm-hmm. And ran into Song Chen earlier, so he did make his flight.
Yes,
It's good to see. He came all the way from Vancouver.
yes, good to see. He gave me a bit of a scare with the language story. Told you about that earlier.
That is correct.
I had Song tell me, I thought he told me he was coming tomorrow at midnight. And of course, Song's English is not that strong, so hard to understand him. And so when he said he was coming tomorrow at midnight, on the phone, I said, "Oh, then you have a buy." And his reply to me was, "Yes, I buy my ticket. I fly tomorrow."
Well, snooker is a global game, so we get all walks of life playing this game. And Song is definitely a great supporter.
Yes, he
of
is.
it. He
He
always shows up at a lot of tournaments and just really involved, and sort of that big thump. David Putty forgot that our microphones pick up a
Yep.
lot, and he
Yep.
threw down his Fitbit or walk thing, or
Yeah, he's saying to hell with that. I see on the stream somebody named Marek Potter is saying, "Where can I find the results of the matches?" Well, if you go to the Snooker Canada website, there is a link on there. You'll see it in the middle of the page. If you click on the Canadian Open, and it opens up another page, and then there's another link on the CompuSport website, and that's being updated pretty regularly. So
well, kind of sounds like a choose your own adventure book. Turn to this page.
something like that.
Turn to page 4 if you want to see how Phil Snake is doing.
That's right. See another match is about to start on the table next door. In the meantime, Mr. Loyer is walking around the table without a care right now.
He's laying down the law.
He's laying down the law.
Is he the lawman? Fern Lawman Loyer?
The Ferminator is his nickname.
The Ferminator.
The Ferminator. He knows, Fern knows that if he wins this frame 3-0, it's going to be a tough uphill battle.
For the bear.
For the bear, Mr. Putty.
I think Mr. Putty is the bear.
And for all you Seinfeld fans out there, I was watching television last night, completely forgot that Elaine's boyfriend's name was David Putty. Did you know that?
Of course I did.
I did not. I mean, I knew, but I forgot.
Well, obviously, a couple years ago when we were in Montreal for my first Whistler Cup, we had the great Charlie Brown from out in Whistler, BC. He came out, and David and him got to talking, and actually I think they went to a bar after their
Yep.
match to rekindle about the day's events.
Yep.
And the waitress came and said, "How are you doing?" And they said the niceties, and I'm like, "I'm David Putty, and I'm Charlie Brown." I think the waitress gave a double take. So,
That's pretty funny.
and we've got Tony Fun on the West Coast.
Tony Fun, another
Yeah.
great name.
So, Mom, it's true. These are actual names. We're not
These are-
making it up.
These are real names. There's another gentleman in Montreal by the name of Ying Yang. And I literally said, I need to see your driver's license. I don't believe you. And he showed me his driver's license.
Okay.
And his name was Ying Yang.
Wow. Yeah, not to be confused with the powerhouse Alex Zhang.
That's right.
He's in this tournament. He was the Mr. Billiard Open winner this year.
That's right.
Another great tournament that we
Yep.
put on.
And he's also a former Richter Cup winner. Have you been to the Maritimes, David?
I have not.
Good.
Should I be calling my travel agent?
I think so.
Is something in the
Something's brewing over there.
Snooker Canada crystal ball?
Yeah, yeah. We at Snooker Canada, we don't really like announcing things until they're official. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that one.
That's right, folks. You know, just keep looking back at snookercanada.ca and you'll find all the updates on these wonderful events and programs that we have. So,
So 29 points ahead for Fern with 2 reds, which sort of
39.
is that a 39? No, that's a 29.
Yes.
That's a 29. So I mean, if Fern knocks in a red with a color, that might be curtains. What?
There's a first there, too, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to correct the president of Snooker Canada. You might be hearing the last of me, I guess.
No, 43 to 14, as you can see on the scoreboard in the back. I'd like to commend our Rob Decatur, our technical producer. He came up with this scoreboard. He built it, and it's a great idea. I mean, just good for the spectators at home, but also good for the people in the room that just want to see the score from far, far away.
It's true, because a lot of the rooms, have the typical sliding scoreboards, which are great.
Yep.
But as you say correctly, for the viewing public
Yep.
that just want to know, they don't have to ask a friend that asks a friend, and
That's right.
someone runs in and disturbs the
That's
action.
right. Have you had any guest visitors on the
I have
microphone?
not. I've had a lot of guest voices in the background, as this seems to be a gathering point for people. We do have some signs as a quiet please, but I hope they don't get in trouble with any of their wives, girlfriends,
Yep.
lovers, or mothers.
Well, if this color goes in, yeah, that looks like 3-0 for Fern, and well, I'd like to see David maybe at least win the next frame and make a match out of it. But I think we talked about this yesterday. Fern is a professional. He's not that guy that's gonna slow down on the gas pedal.
No. When he sees the blood, he's like Ray Reardon. Sorry, it's a tongue twister. Dracula himself.
Well, when this match, when this frame finishes, I'm gonna go looking around for some guest commentators.
Fantastic. We are probably going to take a 5 to 10 minute break, as it
Yep.
happens after frame 3.
Yep.
So stay tuned, everybody. You never know who's going to pop into the booth.
There you go.
And David concedes that frame, so Fern is up 3-0 with 4 to go. Fern only needs one more to punch his card further into the tournament. Patrick, thank you very much for joining us in the booth.
My pleasure, David.
Please join us again throughout the weekend. We love
Will
hearing
do.
your voice.
Will do. We'll come back and see you.
And stand by, everybody. If you are subscribed on the YouTube page, you will get a little notification when we start up again. But feel free to brew that pot of tea, and we'll see you back in 10 minutes.
Great. Coffee. Coffee. Would you like a coffee?
Okay, we're back. Quicker than anticipated. I guess these players just wanted to get back into it. Thought maybe Mr. Putty would take a little break to compose himself, but maybe had a little comfort break. But we're now back into it. And just for everyone, we do have one more match coming up on the TV table tonight. As our schedule was saying, Arif Mahmoud will be playing. I'm not sure the winner of the other. He's playing a winner of an earlier match today. I just don't see the bracket in front of me. But things could change, and this is our good friend Lobsang Lama. He's a great young player just in the background on the middle table. But for all you snooker fans, always good to subscribe to this page on YouTube. Subscribing gets you an indication of when we go back live, which is always important because sometimes frames or games run a little bit longer, some are a bit shorter, so there's a bit of time. So always good idea to just subscribe. It's a nice feature that YouTube provides there. Yes, I think Mr. Putty would like this match to go on a little bit longer. We definitely much look forward to the handshake that usually happens to start a decider. But he's just got to take it one frame at a time, one ball at a time. Try not to win that frame all in one visit. David looking at a very tricky 3-ball plant there. Could be a shot to nothing. Off 2 cushions back into bulk. Okay. Hopefully the blue has been alright for him to block that path to that red. That still is a tricky pot down there. That's all right. Block that red on the near the corner pocket. I think he's. I'm not sure if he's touching ball. I don't think he is. I think David would take a look at it and at least announce to Fern if it was touching ball, but not. Always tricky bridging over a bunch of balls. Be looking for that spider maybe again, or maybe looking for a different way. Maybe he's found a pot here. Maybe he's going to just delicately rolled in. Yep, a little touching ball. So Fern makes the long walk back to table 12 to grab the spider. First I thought he's maybe looking for the fern rest, I should say. It is a firm rest. It's a firm shaft. You don't want it bouncing around too much, that's for sure. You don't want any wobble. So,
His nickname is the Rabbit.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we do have a variety of guests coming in, and I've been introduced to this gentleman. He's known as the Rabbit.
Yes, yes.
And your actual name is Peter?
No, my family name is Lelièvre. Lelièvre, it's French, and,
Okay.
and it means rabbit.
Okay. Sounds good. Were you playing in the tournament today?
Yes, I'm waiting for the next available table.
Okay. Yeah. Did you play earlier today?
I haven't played yet. I gotta buy.
Oh, you got to buy.
Yes.
Okay. So, what brought you into the game?
What brought me into
Yeah,
the
how'd you
game?
get hooked onto snooker?
I think Robert Chaperon has something to do with that.
Okay.
Frenchie.
Mm-hmm.
He's won the British Open.
He has, yes.
Yes, we're from the same city,
Okay.
so we practice a lot together. And I advanced with him through the years. And I just have a passion for this game.
Great. So, one day you were just talking to your friend Bob, and he's like, "Hey, I play this snooker game. Why don't you come along and?"
Yeah, but
give
as
it
a matter of fact, back in those days, because we're about the same age, I had an edge on Frenchie.
Okay.
And when I was 18, I won the Ontario Championship at 18.
Great.
So, like I said, through the years, playing good players, you learn, you advance. It's fun. It's
Great.
fun.
So when you're 18, and then you said 30 years later, but you don't look like an age over 35.
Yeah, I'm 60.
Oh,
I'm 60.
you could have fooled me.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I also had a brother that was really, really good back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Don. He made the finals in the Canadian back in those days. He was really good, but he gave up the game for family things.
As can happen.
Yeah.
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 We have all that excitement, and when we learn it when we're young, it's thrilling.
Like Fern here. Fern William. We practiced together all the time when we were young, in our 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll go back 40 years.
Do you know David Putty at all?
I don't know much, but I've seen him play in a few tournaments. He's you have to be careful. He knows the game. He's got experience, so he knows when to pass. He doesn't take chances. Not against Fern. Fern can easily empty that table, so you have to be careful.
Yes, the first century I ever commented on was Fern's.
Was Fern?
Yeah.
I almost did 4 centuries in the same match, but that was 25 years ago. Yes. I ran like a 87, 98, 102, 105, and I lost the match 5-4. Ooh. I was playing a pro. He was a pro.
That's how cruel this game can be, folks.
Yeah.
Like,
Mixed with pro-ham, amateur pro, it helps the amateur player to advance, playing these good players.
exactly. I remember hearing the story of when Stephen Hendry was just coming out. I believe his manager rang up Steve Davis and said, "We're going to have a little exhibition,
Yeah.
but I want you to destroy this kid." So Steve Davis beat him 10-1,
Oh, yeah.
10-0,
Oh, yeah.
10-2.
Well, he was holding the record for the youngest player to win the world at age of 16. Well, he's got beaten this year.
That's
I
true.
heard a 15-year-old kid did the same. He did. I think he did a 147. 15 years old.
There is an Irish kid that's potting quite well, a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And he, I think about 4 months ago, had a 132.
Yeah. Because these kids starts when 8, 9, 10 years old. I started when I was 14. So, how old do you think Stephen Hendry started to play? He ran a perfect game at 147 at 16. What age do you think he started?
I can't remember how old he was, but the old story is that his dad bought him a little 6x3 table.
Wow.
for Christmas one year. It might have been around his 13th birthday.
Oh, I think more like
Yeah.
before that.
So
Because at 3 years, if it was 13, he would in 3 years to come out with a game that he's able to play. Woo, a big order. Yeah, my brother Donald, he used to own the pool hall in Sudbury,
okay.
and a lot of good matches were there took place there. Robert Chaperon did exhibition and ran a 147 in front of many people. Yeah,
Yeah, it was nice to hear from Bob. He actually tuned into our stream of last week's Western Canadian Championships.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, this game's been hidden for far too long. I think we're doing a good job here to bring it back into the forefront.
That's right. Correct.
It's great for the little kids because they learn sportsmanship, respect, be on time, works on your addition, your angles. So
It's a gentleman's game, so you need to learn the basic of the game. What they call it in French, étiquette. L'étiquette is very important.
un petit pas français parler.
Oh, I didn't know you speak French.
Just a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah, Fern's really honing in here. This could be a match-winning break right here.
Yeah, yeah, it sure looked like it. A lot of open balls.
Staying on the black, it's always important.
Plus, he's got an option to go for pink on the opposite pocket. It'll go.
And you notice these guys, there's no crazy wild shots. It's all short, small, compact. Little stun draws, little stun run-throughs. So much to learn.
I've been playing 40 years and I'm still learning.
Think about everything and your head might explode.
Yeah. It all comes down to who's going to play better that day. It's always like that.
Yep.
Oops.
Well, David has a lot to climb in this frame and
Well,
the match.
He's running 50 points behind. There's 75 on the table. He's got a chance. There's this chance.
Yeah, I think in this situation, all he wants is a chance.
That's
Just
it.
one little chance.
Because if you play and never had that chance, it gets to you, you know? You want to try it,
Yeah.
you know?
How are you finding the tables? Have you practiced on any here?
I played a few shots a while ago on table 12. That's the table I'm scheduled to play on. I took about 8 shots, but then the match started, so I stopped. Too wide.
Good tables? Like
Yeah.
the tables?
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
nice.
they're nice. They have a nice roll.
Is there a lot of rooms up in Sudbury?
In Sudbury, Rhythm and Cues in North Sudbury, there's one. My brother used to own one downtown, but he sold and moved away to Montreal.
apologize, folks. That's
One good shot there.
very nice. That wasn't my stomach as much as it's getting close to dinner. That's
Yeah,
a dishwasher. We gotta.
Oh, okay. Let's see, you must be very hungry.
I don't know. Is it offense if I ordered some rabbit stew?
No, it's good. It's very good. Missed it. You don't want to miss it with 40 points behind. 41.
And not leave a
And
shot
leave a
like
shot.
this on. For
Yes. Doesn't look good. Missed it. Whoa.
We go to the distance.
That's it.
That might come back.
Well, at least he had a couple tries at coming back.
He's giving it a good effort.
This is an important shot. He has to make it. Good.
So have you had a maximum?
Did I have what?
Have you had a maximum?
No, my maximum break was 128.
128? That's still pretty good.
But it's been too long.
You know what a lot of guys like about this game when they come out? That it's fun.
Yes. You must have a passion to get really better at this game.
As much as the game can make your head spin from time to time.
Yes. I do own my own table at home. So I get to practice whenever I want.
Okay.
Good condition. A tournament champion table.
Very nice.
Very good condition.
Is this an invitation you're giving me?
Yeah. Bring your bathing suit.
Really?
Yeah, you got a swimming pool inside.
Great. And you're more than welcome when you come out to Vancouver. We'll treat you well.
Yeah, I need to go to Vancouver.
We'd love to have you.
There's one great player in Vancouver that invited me to his house. He's a player. His name is Michael Wu. He's Chinese.
Okay, Michael
But,
Ma. I do know Michael.
Wu, yeah. Wu, yes.
Yes.
Well, I do speak Chinese. I do.
Okay, great.
Yes, yes. I've learned. I started learning the language in 2004.
Good for you.
So now I can do translation.
Excellent.
Okay, so 61, 37.
Well, Putty can force a black respot if Fern misses, but
There's 27 plus 10. That's it.
that's, I think, you're going to seal the deal. It's nicely on the green, and all the colors are on the spot. This is the
That's
great practice routine all these guys do.
it. Mm-hmm.
He's using a house rest. He's not using Fern's rest. He brings his own rest.
Yeah. Some have telescopic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good.
Do you know why he brings his own rest?
Probably be for height.
Okay.
Some bridge are higher, some are low. Maybe he prefers at a certain height above the cloth.
Yeah. Well, Fern Laurier's looking pretty good in his campaign to become the Canadian Open champion.
Yes.
Oh, a little pink out, but I think there's going to be handshakes here.
Yeah. Well played, Fern.
So Fern takes it in a whitewash, 4-0. Well, Rabbit, thank you very much for joining us in the booth.
Thank
Hope
you.
come by again.
It was my honor to be here.
Excellent. Well,
I
good luck in
enjoyed
your
it.
match. I'll be looking out for you, and we're just going to step aside for a little break while we get ready for our next match.
I may be playing that table.
It's quite possible. We'll be looking for you, Rabbit.
I'll try my best.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
And just so you
Well
guys are aware on the YouTube, if you just subscribe, you will get the nice notification when our next match comes on. So please do that and stand by. We should be back momentarily with another match. Thanks again.
Monte Carlo Billiards is the home of Mississauga for the game of snooker. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced player, if you enjoy the game of snooker, there is no place like it. With world-class professional tables, it is always a good time to drop in. We also offer lessons, leagues, and group functions. Great food, great atmosphere. MonteCarloBilliards.com.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day. Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Learning experience.
I'm up now there. It's been a while. 13. They just finished. Thanks.
Better than I
No,
did.
maybe next after this.
That's for Facebook. Okay.
Oh, not on.
Yeah, right.
She'll probably be 12.
Yeah, you put us in touch with the So we had to go
Next open table, we're going to next open table.
Yeah.
So you have
I think some comment on Facebook. I just haven't seen the picture of your college. Probably around that.
And your last name? In my car.
So you get a little break and then so it's round robin-ish, but this is sort of like what's that? Yeah, I saw the copy. Great. I think this ends up being
On m'a dit, Quebec champion. Quebec champion. He's a very good player. A very good player. So, you play Sunday. Thank you very much. Sunday you play? Montreal. The other side of the world.
What's the fee? I'm sure if I do yeah, they're 26.
You know they got
You know, it can be a little slow to get I love the style of every player.
You're going to tell me when you're going to go? Actually, he doesn't need.
You got to really.
Let me just grab one thing and then we'll call the hotel. Okay. You know what I mean, right? From Morocco. He's a good player. Smooth. Now this guy is love punch very good. He comes to back. Yeah, I know. A very good player.
叫什么名字？我叫我会说中文。我很高兴认识你。
You want to call the hotel? Friday, Saturday, only one day. Rob, can you help?
I need you to tell me when that scoreboard's straight. Sorry.
That's what the bar.
Looks good to me.
Oh, yeah. Somewhere. Where's the liquor
Is that okay or no? Really, right? Yeah, it looks fine. Looks all right. That's right. You okay? Yeah. Yeah. I think that when you commentate, you feel like commentating.
Last game on the table.
taking any more matches tonight? Check it out this evening. I'll wait. We're okay to start? Yes. Okay. Just checking.
Okay, I'm going to be
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more exciting snooker action here at Monte Carlo Billiards in Mississauga, Ontario. We're here with the Canadian Open. It's day one. We're getting close to the end of our day. I think this is going to be the last match on our television table. And we do have a very special guest, one of actually my that went over to London this past January to take in the Masters. There's 18 of us. And welcome, Robert.
Robert, that's right.
Robert, what's your last name?
Robert Sullivan.
Okay.
There's
Welcome.
Yep.
Are you enjoying the
Thank
tournament
you.
so far?
How's that?
Are you enjoying the tournament so far?
Super. Yeah, it's first time witnessing this, and it's really interesting. You really got some good players here tonight. Can you take care of that? Or?
So yeah, we have Alan Whitfield and Arif Mahmood. Do you know either of these players, Robert?
No, first time witnessing them. Ooh, that's a hard shot.
That was the first frame, so they're just feeling things out, probably getting the feel of the table. You know, a lot of these players aren't used to playing on a TV table. You know,
That's just it.
I guess I wonder if they even psych each other out before the game, being like, hey, you know, Rob, there's probably going to be like 65 million people watching this.
It plays on the nerves, I know. I was playing the Montreal snooker tournament, and my nerves got the better of me.
Okay, the Royal Montreal?
Yeah, Royal Montreal.
Excellent.
Yeah, there was 8 of us playing, and the place in itself is a real museum, you know, because it's the first curling club in North America
Wow.
in the 1800s, and it's like you're in a museum, you know. And it was very, very interesting being there. But like I said, the nerves, you know, I guess the nerves got the better of me, and I wasn't relaxed enough. But the table was very hard table, nice table.
Nice. Well, if you ever come out to Vancouver, I'll take you on a little trip up to North Van, because the fire department has an old Oxford table that was built in 1890.
Ooh.
Just the legwork, so fine-tuned and stuff like that. The cushions and the cloth could use a little work, but that happens, wear and tear and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
the
of course.
integrity of the table is
It's a question
great.
of maintenance, very important. And I don't know if you remember in England when we were doing our visit there, that between sessions, between the afternoon and the night session, they dismantled the table and they changed the carpet
That's
completely.
right.
Completely. You know? It's like, I guess we're not going to do this here.
Who knows? Not today.
Not
But
today.
we are launching a table mechanic program with Snooker Canada, so we're going to be opening the doors, because I think if you're a good table mechanic right now, your phone won't stop ringing. I think there's a lot of people that are in need of table
You mean
mechanics.
people that are going to be trained to change and properly adjust a table,
Mm-hmm.
balance, equalize, and everything? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you need something like that, I guess, because sometimes some certain tables they need a little bit of maintenance, and it throws off the game. You know?
For sure. You had a gentleman out in Vancouver. Unfortunately, he's passed away. Did you know Tommy Lee?
No.
Well, he's a great player. He rolled in centuries just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
But I become friends with Rob Johnson, who joined us in England. He was part of the tour group, and he told me that Tommy Lee set up his table in his house by himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
So you know how much these slates are.
Yeah, they're
about
heavy.
350 pounds.
Yeah, they're heavy.
And this isn't Charles Atlas, this Tommy Lee. He's But
Well, you got to be passionate about the game and the accuracy and the maintenance. I guess it's the important things, that you got to have a good maintenance of your table.
yeah, Alan's doing a good job in this opening of this frame. Stroke that pink quite confidently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got a lot of good players here today. I've noticed that it's almost like they're semi-professional. Ooh, that's nice. Smooth.
Ooh.
Ah,
Tough break.
yeah.
Well, maybe I would jump on the table. I'll even the scales, From complete novice to professionals that we have
Yeah.
here.
Well, sometimes it's a question of probability. It's the odds, You've got so many possibilities that you hit, and sometimes you can guess where the ball's going to go, but sometimes you really can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Like there, you see, you figure it's close, but sometimes it's just the angle.
Well, he's got a nice bow tie. Harry
Yeah,
does.
definitely.
I didn't get a chance to talk to him before his match. I wonder if he tied his own, because there's a true art to tying a bow tie.
Is it now?
So what got you into the game, Robert? How did you come across the game of snooker?
Oh, it started in 1988 in Laval at the place called the Recreotech.
Okay.
Recreotech, yeah. It was a big amusement place. You know, it was well renowned in Laval. It had all sorts of sports. You know, bowling, roller skating, tennis. It had just about every sport, amusement thing, and there was a lot of snooker tables there. And Julian Ireland and I, we started playing there. And at first we were playing 8-ball, you know. And then we noticed this fellow in the back, Mark, big tall fellow. He's playing snooker. He was practicing. He had about 8 or 10 balls lined up, and he was putting them like the black would put in a red position for black, put in a red position for black, and we were looking at that, and we were kind of like amazed by the way he was just positioning the white at the right place with the right speed and everything. So he started playing with us, taught us the game of snooker, what it's all about, and the position and the shots and stuff like that. And ever since, we haven't stopped. I mean, snooker has been our game. We forgot 8-ball, and that was it. It was snooker all the way.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you must have been around 5 at that time in '88, because you don't
Yeah,
really look
just
that
about.
old.
Yeah, just about that. About 5, going on 30. Yeah. No, I've been at it for a while. I'm not good at it, but I'm passionate about the game. You know, it's like I like to see a fellow playing a good game. You know, and for me, it's it's everything. Nice.
Yeah, I think a lot of people here are here because they have a passion, a real love for the game. And
You have to, otherwise it's like, what's the reason, you know? Oh, very nice. Those long shots. Oh, that's good. Very good.
did you take David Putty's coaching course?
I'm sorry?
Did you take David Putty's coaching course this past week, or
No, Julian did.
Julian did?
Yeah,
Okay.
Julian did. Yeah, Julian did. Yeah, because he's going to be taking care of a pool hall, like a snooker place, for young kids, you know, to go and to learn the game, you know, do something, you know, be there and learn the game the right way, not just like playing on balls and not knowing the whole strategy behind it, you know. So yeah, that's the plans. And of course, Julian is retired, so he's got the time to do that. You know, and for him, it's a passion as well. So me, I'm still working. You know, I'm a working man by choice, mind you. Not that I have to, but by choice.
Well, you know, us as artists, we never stop working. Always aware things could hit you.
That's
inspiration here and there.
Yeah. I think he's opened up the game a little bit there.
I think you're correct. I think he wanted to take that one back.
There you go.
Yeah, this could be a frame clincher. It's not really. There's a few reds that are on the cushion, but the majority of them are out in the open.
Nice backspin. Is it best out of 3?
It's best out of 4, or like a best race to 4, best of 7.
Ah, okay. 4 games.
Yeah, I Definitely got into that cue ball in the last shot. Just zipped back.
That was a good spin back. They're not easy to do. You gotta hit it just the right way. Nice.
Yeah, he just made it look effortlessly for that draw. Didn't look like he was struggling with anything.
Yeah. He just gave it the right.
It's like I'm going to order a pizza and I'm going to draw the back, just in the same shot.
What's his next shot? The one on the band? It's not an easy one, but if he gets that, he's got himself a black. Oh, okay. I don't know if he played it intentionally or he missed it, but okay.
It's giving that ref a chance now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he's at 8-9-42. Okay, he's got a chance, but he's got a challenge before him. Nice.
Always seems to happen sometimes. You just get on a roll, and what if you just rust the shot a little bit? You know, it's always.
It's the concentration. Sometimes I find that when you're playing, well, I guess this guy he can concentrate real good, but sometimes you lose that. How should I say that movement, that ability, because I guess your nerves get the better of you. The concentration to where to hit. You know, usually you know exactly, but sometimes you can be off just by a fraction of an inch, and that's it. Very nice, smooth.
Quite nice and smoothly. Maybe Alan will be Mr. Smooth.
How's that?
Maybe Alan will be Mr. Smooth.
Yes.
The debate with
Nice.
Mr. Putty is like, you can't pick your own nickname. It almost seems to just happen
Yeah, sometimes they.
organically.
Yes. Oh, look at that. That's really good. Okay, now.
And 59 on the table,
Yeah,
so
all the way down there. Yeah.
Maurice
He
not out
does
of it
that.
yet.
He's got himself a black. There you go. Oh, super.
c'est incroyable. Formidable. It is a Canadian show, so I have to be friendly to our friends in Quebec and put the French in when I can.
Formidable. Oui. Formidable. Okay, really good. Nice.
But that's going back a few years. I haven't spoke much French in a long time.
French 101. La plume de ma tante and all that. Le crayon de mon oncle.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, for us, you know, it's like Mary and John. You know. Yeah. For the English course, it's Mary and John.
Yeah.
Very good. Look at that, how he's bringing it back down. Ooh, not too much, bro. Oh. Okay, he's good. There, oh, if he gets that. Oh, that is something. That is, you know, if I had my stick, I'd go dunk, 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 dunk like that on the ground. That is one hell of a good shot. He's a very good player.
He is. I don't know much about Alan, but
He's very smooth. He's relaxed, you know.
it's just
He doesn't try to kill the ball. He's playing the ball. He's not, doesn't want to harm it. He wants to get it in. There. Oh, wow.
Look out for this character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there for the yellow, just like Ronnie O'Sullivan would do.
Is that Ronnie? Is he wearing a mask?
Yeah. Cut his hair short. Although I've seen Ronnie with a crew cut. Remember when he had it all shaved?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think Ronnie's got a little important business to do tomorrow. He starts his campaign at the World Championship.
Oh, yeah? Okay. No, he's got that game for sure. Very nice. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this guy's professional. Well, maybe. No. Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah.
92, I guess the guy's going to concede.
I would think on that note, Reef does concede the frame, trail 1-0 or Alan Whitfield. So frame 2 just coming up around the bend. So how come you're not playing in the tournament, Robert?
Well, it's because I saw on Snooker Canada it said full, so
Okay.
I just thought I'd come up and be a spectator.
Fantastic.
But, you know, Patrick told me on Sunday if I wanted to play Sunday, I'm able to join, so I might just.
Okay.
Yeah, I might just join in.
Yeah, there's a little B-side tournament, I believe, going on.
Yeah.
Well, let that be a lesson to all you players out there. If you want to get in a tournament, sign up soon.
Yep, that's true. Well, I must. Ooh, nice shot. I must say this was a last-minute decision to come here. You know, it was announced, and I said to myself, "Hey, why don't I go? I mean, it's like I don't have to fly. I just have to drive. It's not very far, and that's it. You know." And that was it.
Did you come all the way from Laval?
Yeah.
Okay.
Left this morning at 8:30.
Ooh.
Yeah, I took a couple of days off from work, you know, and that's it.
We're on the air. Don't tell work.
Work, yeah, right.
So I heard your twin brother, Robert, is back in Laval
that's
badly
right.
in illness.
That's right. He's backing me up.
Yeah. You can't go into work at all or anything like that.
That's right. Oh, that's twice now. He's pushed it. He's pushing it. He's forcing it, I would say.
Yeah, looks like we've got a little results in the table behind them.
Yeah.
That's Lobsang Lama.
Yeah, he's
I'm not sure who he's playing, but if you need any results, you can go online to CompuSport or get the app for your Android or iPhone. There is a link on Snooker Canada's website at snookercanada.ca.
Mm-hmm. That's much better. You see, he didn't force it this time.
Oh.
The other shots, I think he was just forcing it too much. Sometimes it throws the game off. Oh, that famous side pocket.
That is what he wanted. Black was up in bulk, so he had the right pot on to put that black back on its spot.
Exactly, yeah, you see.
Getting down to the business end of the table.
Yeah. Nice. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that something?
So we're going to see a power shot here. You're going to go in and out of bulk.
There he is. Stop shot.
Yeah, he did have that red just to the right of the cluster of all those reds.
Yeah. That's the next one. Okay. A challenge a bit, but not impossible. Oh, that was a good one.
Very nicely done.
Very nicely done indeed.
He might be the dark horse. I don't know much about Alan, but
I
he's
think
playing
that
really well.
yeah, between him and Lapsang.
Okay.
Lapsang, he's got the same style. Position, smooth, accurate. Oh. Is he hiding the black?
Could be.
Yeah, I think he's...
It's tough if he does take that black. He's going to lose a little control of the cue ball.
I think he's going to go more for a upstream. Yeah.
Yeah, pink into the yellow pocket, puts him on this red to the side.
Come on down. Well, that's relatively safe.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Just take the money and run.
Yes, a shot to nothing, as they call it. There we go. He's got himself in the same kind of shot. Oh my God. You know, there's some guys who just can't hide from them. You know, no matter where they are, they're going to hit something in. Amazing.
And they're not rattling in the jaws. They're going
No,
right
it's
to the
like
back of the pocket.
right in. Right in. No, that was...
There's that red that's just to the left of those four reds clustered together in around the pack area.
Oh, no, not quite. Oh, I think he's giving... This fellow Alan, he's really good. He's a very good shoulder.
Harif's no slouch either. Harif's no slouch either.
Yeah.
He's playing quite well.
Oh yeah.
When he gets his opportunities at the
Yeah.
table, that is. That's the only problem. He's not getting any opportunities.
Well, Alan is not giving him anything good. He's got to work for his points. Now that's good. Right in the area.
He needs to pull up a little bit just to be on that red, just left of the black.
It's hard. It's hard to get the right feel. You know, how much? Not too much. Just enough. Oh, that's
And
good.
it's easy to say to do it. It's another thing to actually do it.
What?
The shot.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it looks easy from here.
It is not easy at all.
No, I know.
This is a very serious tournament. If they wanted a comedy of errors, well, you can put me on the table and we'll see what happens.
Very good. He's made a few good runs there, a few points there.
Mm-hmm.
If he keeps that up.
Down the line, yeah.
Very good. Very smooth.
I just don't think he's on the right side of the blue. He might have to go in and out of bulk.
Yeah, Buff come right back. Gotta really hit it hard to come back. There we go. Ooh, look at the effect on that. Yeah, come on. Wait,
That commentary right there, that might be your tagline there. What is that? A poof poof and
Poof poof.
poof poof bang it goes in? You're gonna be mauled in the streets of Oval. It's the poof poof man.
Poof poof. Yes. Yeah, he's got the red next to the black. Is he going to go for that? Or he's looking for something else? I'm surprised that he's considering that one in the side. Oh, yeah? Oh, maybe he doesn't see the red. Okay, he doesn't see it. That's why. Okay, he didn't see it.
Yeah, it's always a little tricky from our vantage point.
Yeah, too much puffing. Oh, nice, nice. Look at that, how he's bringing it back up. Right there, right in the bulk area. Keeping the distance. Nice. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit tougher. It'll be closer.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, get around. Okay, he's taking on a different red.
I know we're wrong. I would rather keep the wave so that you have absolutely around the table.
Oh, I've seen that done before.
Oh.
Oh, bang.
Poof poof.
Poof, poof on this, see? Whoa, okay, that's a real good shot there.
But very gentlemanlike of Alan, he raised his hand to apologize for the fluke.
That's the thing with this game, you know, anything goes. Anything goes.
Well, that's how it happened for the great Cliff Thorburn for his maximum at the Crucible. It started with a fluke.
Yeah?
Yeah, he greatly apologized to Terry Griffiths.
Oh, yeah, well.
One red went in, and then a black, and then 14 more reds, and 14 more blacks, and the colors. And the Rex is snooker, Canadian snooker history.
It was very fluky.
Just for that one. Watch
Yeah.
that break. There's nothing fluky
Yeah.
about it afterwards.
And no. Yeah, he missed the concentration there. He had it. He may be thinking too much about the position versus the ball. Now what is
Or the
Arif?
frame. Because that was a close frame running opportunity for him. And
This is going to be close. If this guy, if Arif can pick it up from there. There you go. Oh, no.
ooh, so
Bad break.
unfortunate.
Bad break.
One thing that's in Alan's favor here is that brown is glued tight to that cushion. Very safe over there.
That's going to be
And
the
Alan,
ball to get off the cushion.
and Arif will need that if he wants to win this frame.
Very nice. Okay. Behind green. Well, I think he's got room to see it. Yeah, he's got room. Actually, he can probably. No, I don't think he can do it. He won't get past the black. But it's a way of snooking. Very nice.
Yeah, he might just be able to just see
He
a hair
sees
of
it.
it.
Yeah, he sees a bit of it. Got a bit of a swerve. There. Oof.
Ooh, but
Yeah.
that's in Alan's wheelhouse for sure, as we've seen.
What's that?
That shot is definitely in his wheelhouse, I think,
Oh, yeah.
Alan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There. Position on blue.
Well, now Arif needs snookers to win this frame.
Roll. Oh, he's good. He's good. Now it's curious about how he's gonna do that brown. Oh, he's okay. You got around it.
He doesn't need the brown, though.
No. But it's the challenge of doing it. Oh. Doesn't matter. He's got the game anyway.
Arif just well, he's going to come back to the table. Maybe just
He needs a snook, I believe.
give his arm a little workout.
Yeah,
He's been sitting
he's
for a
gotta-
while. But
Got to get creative. Okay.
yeah, 22 on the table. He needs 4 snookers
Those
to
are
retrieve it.
tricky. Those I've seen myself miss those when they're like that close to the hole on the band. There, you see what I mean? They're not automatic in.
Well, you can't see yourself missing. You got to keep positive. You can't have any negative thoughts. You got to be like, I got to see that shot go in.
Let's be positive here. Where's he trying to go? Again, he's got it on the.
Yeah. It's a shot maybe about 11 feet 9 inches, I'd say.
About that. Yeah, if not more. 12, the table's 12, so
It's a long pot.
it's a long pot. Okay. Okay, he's got him behind blue, I believe.
Yeah, this is one that he needs.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, there's one on
There's
the board.
one. Okay. Well, there's still hope.
There is. Now he can't put them back because snookers are required.
Oh, right. Yes.
With the, we are
When
playing
snookers are
Fallon, but
required, you cannot
not put them back. No.
Okay. However, if he couldn't see the brown, he'd be able to take a free ball.
Correct. It's always a good tactic. Just put that brown ball just all over the cushion.
Yeah, I guess in a case like that, sometimes a player, he'll try to put the balls as close to the hole as possible, so that the other guy has problems making snooks. If the ball is really close to the hole, it makes it easier for the winner to
Yes, besides the 3 snookers, he also needs all the colors reserved. So
yes, on top of that. So he's got himself a really good challenge here. No, not quite.
Robert, have you had dinner? Is that your stomach
That's
going
my
off?
yeah. I'm due for something to eat right now. Sorry.
That should
Nice,
probably do it.
nice. Coming back for the blue. And that's it. That's game over now. Very good position on the side or down corner. Stop shot. Yeah. Wow, it plays it with power and it just
does,
really
definitely.
goes right in.
Just hits the back of the pocket. So.
Yeah, and those are not easy shots to do. You know, when you play with power, sometimes you lose a little bit of the accuracy.
Definitely.
So when you're shooting, you have to really be straight and
And being off by a fraction of an inch, it's going to shoot his back.
yeah.
Sometimes with a slower shot, you're able to rattle in the jaws
Exactly.
and then drop. So,
yeah.
well, Arif has a battle on his hands, trailing 2-0 to Alan Whitfield. This is a best of 7, so race to 4. So Alan's looking in the driver's seat and he's putting really well.
But that second one was at one point there was some hope there from
There's
the
a
other
little-
side, but then
A little lacking on the puff puff.
yes.
We're going to get the t-shirts with your face on it saying puff puff. That's a nice break. Glued that to the
Yeah,
home
very
cushion.
good. Right on the cushion. No room to maneuver. Oh, he tried it. He tried it.
He's not dead in the water right now, Reese, so you don't want to push something too much that's not there.
Well, he's
There's a point where you need to attack, but
but that was not the time. Not against this guy, anyway.
yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Well.
Fortunate enough, there are reds on the right side of the table, but the black and pink are pretty much
Yeah.
locked up.
They're locked up. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's going for that one. That one. Come back up for the blue or the up. The one on the far. Yep, I think so. That's what he's trying. Yeah, that's what he was trying to push it right back up, and whoa, he just gave Alan some material.
Material to construct his painting on this beautiful green baize canvas.
He gave him something to play with. Yeah. Come on, get out of there. Oh, he's got a green, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know about that blue.
Yeah, he's got a green. He doesn't see the blue. At least he's got a green to play on. And there you go. He's back in the game.
Hit the smart shot. Just played safe.
Yep.
Put his cue ball tight to the ball cushion.
Tight on the band. Nowhere to go.
It's kind of how Reese night's been going. He just can't even buy a fluke.
Yes. Okay, he's considering. Oh yeah, right across, and ooh. Well, he took a chance.
It's going to be tough to control sometimes when they're just over the pocket.
Nice effect on the white to bring it down.
Really good cue action there.
Oh, that is very good. Look at the way he's got that. Now, I don't know about the black.
No, he's definitely going to have to do something with this cue ball afterwards.
No, he can't do it now. He says he's going to go back up for a blue. Or something.
Oh, he's got the right angle on the brown to come back down to the reds.
Down. Yes.
He definitely needs this frame before we go to a little break. After 3 frames, there's a little bit of a 5-10 minute break.
Oh yeah, okay.
But some of the players like to just carry on right away. See how these guys are feeling. Sometimes when it's the beginning of the tournament, they just want to get out there and play, get the arm warmed up, get going.
When they're hot, they don't want to stop.
didn't know you wrote poetry.
How's that?
When you're hot, you don't want to stop?
It goes with the poof. Yeah, that's the ball. Nice, he played it smooth, which was the way to do it. I don't know if you can see between those two reds. I don't think so.
No. Another thin cut, gonna run him back up the ball on this red. Oh, tried it.
Yeah, that's where. Oh, and look at that. He left some goodies for Alan. There you go.
Yeah, the way Alan's been potting, it's dangerous to leave him anything on.
He knows how to stop that ball where he needs to.
Yeah, you might want to have a slight advantage to Alan because he's already played a match today. This is Ari's first match.
It's his first one. Okay, so Alan is kind of like geared up, warmed up. And I guess when you know a table, you know the carpet, you know the reaction of the bands, you know, it helps.
Yeah, but this table has just a little extra pressure with the TV cameras there. This one's closest, I think, to the spectators as well. But it's not bothering Alan at all.
Ooh. Ooh.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Another blue.
And a good angle on the blue to stun down into the pink. That might burst open those reds. And
He's got to watch out not to drive those reds in the corner there. Okay, he decided to do it nice and easy. Wow. And back to the blue. And up in the bulk. Okay, he did it very smooth. Okay, yeah, okay, that's good. Ooh, a little bit more than he expected, I guess. Yep. Oh, nice. There was a hole. There was a spot. There was a place.
a gap.
A gap. Mind the gap.
Good advice if you're ever going to London.
How's that? Yeah.
Good advice if you're ever going to London.
Yeah, that's right.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Boy, that was a. Heard that every time a tube would move. Mind the gap. Okay. He's good. So let's see. What? Oh, well,
Puts up a good break of 30 to reclaim the lead in the frame. Hasn't left a reef with much on here. Safety's a little tricky too. I think He's going to have to do a little bit of swerve if he wants to get by that red near the pink.
Mm-hmm.
Just chip off on the side and run back into bulk. Maybe he's taking this pot on.
Kickback. Oh boy.
I think if anyone's asking me for any advice playing Alan, don't leave him a shot.
Don't leave him nothing.
He's knocking them in.
There's no hiding.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hiding.
He'll find a gap, a path,
yes,
plant.
that's right. Oh, bad luck. That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been okay.
Would have been a little crushing for a reef.
It happens.
So obviously the ruling there is he did have the 1 point for the red, and being on the black, although he sunk the black and the whites, he gets a 7-point foul. There's a 7-point foul for
7.
Yeah, going off the black and into the pocket.
But his red counted.
His red did count, but his black did not.
No.
And the reef has the option of asking him to shoot again, which it looks like he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bit interesting because there's a few shots to nothing here, I think.
Yeah, like the one below the pink, right in the corner, maybe, but not this time.
Not this time, bud.
But look, we got him back up in the bulk.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's just an experience maybe with a reef, or I'm not sure much. I don't know much about a reef.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes these players just come in and they just want to practice and then get on with their match. They don't really want to talk with anybody.
He tried the same thing on the other side. No success.
He can go past the blue ball here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Straight in.
Mm-hmm.
Right there for a pink.
He's not giving the pocket any hope of spinning back a ball. It's just right into the back of the pocket.
He's got the one on the side, on the band. There you go.
Fantastic.
There you go.
These guys are definitely very confident. You know, they don't dilly-dally a lot on the table. They come and they're ready to take care of business.
Ooh.
Avoids the blue.
Yeah, right down there for that red.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a great shot. Maybe shot of the tournament so far. It's day one, but...
Oh no, this guy, he's been playing for a while, you can tell.
I think so.
He's got talent. He's got it in him.
Does he have enough to become the Canadian Open champion? Time will tell.
Time will tell, that's right.
I would be surprised if we see him on Sunday.
He's a good contender, I'm telling you. Oh wow, look at that. Snuck behind pink. Ew, he sees a bit of it, I think. A swerve?
A slight swerve, yeah.
Slight swerve, yes. Will he attempt it? Yes. That's good. Oh boy, bad luck.
Yeah, I don't think he swerved that shot. I think he could get through, but it was tough from our vantage point. Looked like he might need a swerve on the previous shot for.
Oh yeah.
And These ones are tough because that side pocket is pretty tight.
Yeah, it's at that angle. It's very difficult to. He's undecided. Okay, he wasn't sure about what. Oh well, he's got himself maybe a hook.
I think he looped that a little bit, so I think there was a little raise of the hand.
Oh, he got out of it. Okay, now he sees, I think, a piece of it, not much.
Does he see enough to
Sees
just
enough
cut it in the
maybe to
side?
even cut it in the side. There you go.
You can't leave Alan a millimeter.
Nothing. Don't give him absolutely nada.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah, well,
Sometimes
something wrong with that thing.
I've heard from the great Gary Spence, who's out there in Vancouver. He helped me out with some commentating last week at the Westerns. And he's like, sometimes when you have those shots, when it's a great shot, you're like, amazing shot, take a nice 5 seconds before your next shot.
Yeah.
Because you're buzzing from that great shot, the adrenaline's pumping. And sometimes you just get in there and you rush that shot.
It's like you have to reset your mind. Mm-hmm. Now this is good. Now this is good. Oh, this is good as well. No, that's good.
Yeah, 25 in it, 27 on the table, so
Yeah,
Maria doesn't need
that's
snookers.
right. He doesn't. No.
But it's not that bad lane one from time to time.
Oops.
I think he might have the hook behind the brown, possibly. Or...
I think he sees it. I think he does.
Yep.
He saw it to do it, and he forced it a little bit. He forced
Robert,
it.
mind the gap.
Oh, mind the gap. Look at that. He left something. Okay. Now what is that gonna do with this?
He does need them all, and that black is in a tough spot there near that top cushion. All the other balls seem quite potable.
It's the black that's going to be the challenge if he gets through this.
And that's a shot he needs.
What was he doing? Did he want to miss it?
Not sure about that. That's an interesting.
Okay. I don't know what was behind that strategy.
Yeah. And now Alan's done a great job of pushing that green safe on the cushion.
Yeah, the cushion. So he's got 2 of them on the kitchen now.
Maybe an opportunity for a reef there on that yellow. He just bypassed it. I'm not sure what that was all about.
I don't think he wanted to do it before. He just wanted to snook him because, I mean, he was right in the hole.
Well, he's brought that black out.
Yep.
But it's in saving grace that he has the green save, so. just getting close to finishing up day one. This is our last TV table tonight between Alan Whitfield and Arif Mahmoud. There's obviously some other tables, as you can see on our picture there, that are still on action. If you go on to CompuSport, you'll be able to find all the results there from all the matches throughout the day.
Oh.
And you can go to their website, or you can download it on your smartphone. It's a great app, and it also helps the players as well, because you can just log on and check your name, because sometimes rescheduling happens and your match might be pushed or something like that.
Ooh. Not what he wanted. Holy smack. And he's behind blue.
I think he's fortunate there.
I think he's fortunate there because I think he's behind blue. That was a nice attempt though. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to roll around it.
I don't think he's going to put him back.
He could if he wanted to, right?
He could if he wanted to, yeah.
Okay. But I don't think he will.
Yeah, Arif needs hooks.
Yeah.
One hook, actually.
Yeah.
Because the difference is 27, and there's 25 on the table.
Almost had that hook that he wanted. That snook that he wanted.
He's dancing a little with danger, Alan.
Yeah, he's getting.
Yeah.
Oh. Now that is going to be a tough one. That brown is so close to the green.
Yeah, and there's not really a gap between that pink and blue.
No.
If you can turn the ball into a pancake, roll by.
Oh, he touched the brown. So that's 4 points for Arif. Okay.
So now he's in it.
He still has that wall right there. So he's going to play with that wall. There you go. He's got the wall. Yep. Ooh, nice out.
Might be just a little too...
A little bit too hard. A little bit behind the wall, I presume. Oh yeah, that's it. Game over.
Well, he'll be taking a commanding lead in this match, 3 frames to nothing. That's an uphill battle for Arif to come back. It is possible.
Oh yeah.
Let's not count him out.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. I mean, we've seen it with professionals, you know? So. Oh well.
Foul doesn't count, but that takes Alan Whitfield with a
technicality.
Alan Whitfield takes a commanding 3-0 lead. Now these gentlemen are entitled for a little 5-10 minute break. I'm not too sure if they are going to take it. Looks like they're getting right on to the business and stuff like that. I'm just going to step away for a quick little comfort break. Robert, if you want to just...
I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay.
Comfort break.
So a little commentary will not be happening for the beginning of this frame, but we'll be right back. And frame 4 coming up.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, no, I want to take a break. I said enough.
The landscape of snooker in Canada is about to shift to a higher level. We have just one question. Are you ready? The Canadian Snooker Tour has seen a lot of changes in the last 7 years. An increase in player participation, tournaments, and yes, more prize money. 3 words, not satisfied yet. Stay tuned for major announcements to come on the Snooker Canada website.
Well, they've broken off in frame 4. Looks like Alan was pretty much on my tails for a little comfort break. I don't know why they just didn't take a little pause, as they're entitled to. I didn't see either of these players at the player meeting on last night, so they may not be aware of the after 3 break intermission. But in Alan's case, I'd have to say I think he wants to stay at the table and continue potting. So Robert actually has just stepped away to get a quick little bite to eat. It was always great having him in the booth, stand-up chap, and got to meet him out in England for the first time. So it's always good seeing old faces and old friends from times and adventures we've had revolving around this great game of snooker. And we are drawing to an end of day 1, but remember we're still going to be here all day tomorrow and all day on Sunday, because we do want to crown the Canadian Open champion, and that will happen on Sunday. Tomorrow morning we'll be starting at 9:30, and that's Eastern Time here in Mississauga. And a good idea, if you are watching us up on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Snooker Canada Challenge, because then you'll get great notifications of when the next matches start. So it's a real handy tool, as sometimes our matches are a little earlier, a little later than usual. Some run on, some finish earlier. So, and loving all the people posting their comments and questions out in the chat, as we do have that feature with the YouTube. We also love to hear where you're viewing from, as snooker is such a global sport. Please chime into where we are. As I was doing the Western Canadians last weekend, we had people from all over the place. A lot of people from Canada, but New Zealand, Romania, Morocco, Australia, England. Our good friend David Reedon, I believe, out in Philadelphia. It was good chatting with him through the stream. So many people out there love this great game of snooker. And we're glad to have you aboard watching all the action here. I'm David Burney. I've had David Putty with me in the booth. I've had the president of Snooker Canada, Patrick Geegee, come and join me. Robert, can't remember his last name at this moment. Our good friend Rabbit, who is, I think he's just getting started his match on one of the tables. Not sure exactly which one or what the score line is, but obviously for all score lines, CompuSport is the way to go to find the scores. And this is our second last tournament of the year. Next year, or next week, I mean. So it's been a long day here, but next week we'll be in Red Deer, Alberta for the Richler Cup. That is our crown jewel of the season. Big one. Big stakes, big money, big reputation. And that's a little unfortunate. It's nice when you can make a nice red, but I'll say that's a good pot. Not really the greatest of shots because he's not on a color. We also do really appreciate your patience as we were battling a few technical difficulties earlier today, but our great technical producer director Rob Decatur didn't sweat it at all, just plowed through and was able to problem solve like the best of them and bring back these beautiful pictures and graphics showing you the score and my voice and all my guests' voice. Nice little rub there on the brown as he was snookered on all other colors. So, but easy run back to bulk for Allen. Safe play. And wow, he's doing a phenomenal job of getting his cue ball on that bulk cushion. It looks pretty glued from my vantage point. But devilish, that's all I've got to say about that. But that's the right shot to play. Fortunately enough for Arif, there is a lot of reds there, big cluster. But definitely when you're snookered, it just makes you think a bit more. There's a real nice shot there. He came into there, but I think he's really actually fortunate with pushing that one red towards the other red, covered up this loose red to the right of the black and just below the blue. Yeah, it's not all power shots as Alan has showed us previously in this match. You gotta sometimes play those tight little delicate soft shots. Let's glued him again to the top cushion this time. He must have laid some magnets in these cushions and put it in the cue ball before the match, because he's done a terrific job of getting your cue ball onto the cushion. Makes it really tough for your opponent to come down and hit square center ball as you're cueing over top of it. And as you can see by that angle there on a reef, he's got to come down on it a little. Nice shot there by Alan. Again, that's not as easy as he makes it look. Little blind cut, got a stun up. Looks like he'll be able to bypass the pack of reds here and be on this red below the cluster. I think there's a red just to the right of the cluster. Those two reds beside each other. If he gets the right angle off this black with the stun, yeah, those will be tricky, but they should go into the side. Oh, very nice to draw it back, come into the exact same pocket that he just pocketed the black. It's unfortunate for Arif that this is his first and it might be his last match in this tournament. Alan did play earlier today, so he did kind of have a feel for the tables and such. That's a beautiful cut there. I think that red it's out in the open to the right of the bunch, will go past the pack into that corner pocket. Yeah, Alan played earlier, but he did play first thing in the morning, and then now he's playing at the end of the day, so there is a little bit of a lull in between that sometimes can be a disadvantage just because you're waiting around and you just want to itching to get back onto the table. That is a great shot there, but it is tough to see if it goes. But I think there actually is a plant in the middle there. Yeah, it's a 3-ball plant that he's got. Oh! Just as he shot it, he knew that cue ball was going in the pocket, but puts up a good mark of 24. Well, I think the game plan for Arif right now is stay at the table. I don't think you want to bring Alan back to the table the way he's been queuing this evening. It's been quite spectacular. He's pocketing this, no real doubts. It's going right into the back of the pocket. Towards the side pocket now, leaving him mid to long way to the corner pocket. He's not backing down, that's for sure. Took that on quite positively. Oh. Always the case in this game. That's just frustrating part about the game of snooker. You make one great pot and then you come back and just miss a rather easier shot. And you just kind of wonder sometimes, is that the same person? And I wonder if Alan is going to make him pay, because a lot of these reds are spread out nicely down there. I don't think that black is really blocking that pocket too much, right corner pocket, but he's got some reds and he's got the pink, so he can play around up here for a while. notice with these great players, just short, compact shots. They like, when they're in the reds, they like to keep the table a 6x6 table pretty much, not using the full length of the 12 foot.
Oh, George, you need to sign this one.
Take a look at that black, see if it goes, but no. Happy with the pink. Really played that nicely. Good weight too. There's a chance that he could have hit it too much and been on the cushion there, but no, he's away from the cushion, so he can have his way with the cue ball. This is not looking good for Arif. Alan is looking really good to push forward in his campaign to become Canadian Open champion this year. Wow. Great shot there. So 35 on the table. There's 43 in it. So Arif is needing a couple of snookers to keep his hopes alive in this Canadian Open, because his back is definitely up against the wall. Ooh, that's going to seal the deal, I think. I don't think Arif is going to be coming back to the table here. So just to remind you, everybody, we will be starting again tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the a.m. Not sure exactly who is going to be on the table first, but I know our good friend Floyd Ziegler will be definitely in the tournament tomorrow, so he might be jumping onto the TV table. But definitely subscribe to Snooker Canada's YouTube page, because that will give you notifications of when the match is starting, and you can tune in, and we should have a breakdown of most of the matches tomorrow. But as it's a elimination format, things do change. Thanks for all the patience that you've given us today, as we had a few glitches. Hopefully we're ironing those out, and tomorrow, let's knock out some wood, everybody, will be a rather flawless day. I think the handshakes are going to come out here, and there we are, yes. Arif unfortunately takes defeat by a whitewash 4-0. Alan Whitfield will be moving on. He'll be playing at some point tomorrow. Arif, unfortunately, he will not be around to be a winner of this Canadian Open. So that's it for us tonight at the Canadian Open at the Monte Carlo Billiards. Just a little wrap up tonight. Hopefully you can come and join us in person if you live in the neighborhood, because it's about $5 admission, but all of our entry fees or entry goes to the Air Cadets. But you can catch us always on the live stream on Snooker Canada's page on YouTube. So thank you all to the great crew we have on us. Rob Decatur, thanks a lot, making us look good, making us sound good. And this is Dave Burney saying good night, everybody, and keep practicing and keep your head down. We'll see you tomorrow. Night, night.